Hello everybody, hope you've had a good weekend and welcome back to the Sunday Club, a weekly live stream I'll be doing. This is the second week now I am running this, and welcome back. I hope you've all got a cup of tea, because we're just going to relax the next 30 to 40 minutes, maybe an hour. Let's see where this conversation takes us. I've got some talking points that I will go over shortly. Yeah, how's everyone's weekend been? We'll also have a look to see who's performed well for England this weekend. Who are the English players that are standing out? Hello and good evening. May I say it's coming home? Yeah, well, hopefully it is. Hopefully it is coming home. Let me get some graphics up for you guys. So this week's talking points. So as you can see, we have who's going to be playing alongside Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice. The Nations League draw on the 8th. We'll discuss that again. And England to play in Newcastle. So let's see where that takes us. Right, hang on a minute. I've got a feeling. How's everyone's connections? I don't know if it's just mine. You have something to discuss. Oh, hang on. I think we're back. No, we're not. Right, UK have game. Sorry, I think we're good. Let's have a look. This time as well, the live stream chat will be on the replay. So for those that are watching this video later, you should be able to watch this again at a later date with the chat. Let me come off this. Let me see if that helps. Now, let me know just in the chat how the live stream is doing. Is it coming through clearly? Just got a bit of a feeling that a bit of buffering going off. I have something to discuss later when you open the floor to make a point. Yeah, brilliant. I mean, raise it now, and we'll see. I'm just gonna load it back up. So these are the points. These are the points we've got. Who plays alongside Bellingham and Rice? Who's in the Nations League draw? We're going to have a look at that again. And England to play in Newcastle, which is not confirmed yet by the FA. It has to be said, it's Bosnian fan channels that are currently confirming that. Let's hope it's true, because I want to go to Newcastle on June the 3rd. It's going to be before the Euros. But let's take each talking point that comes. And also, while we're here, I want us to also start to think about a name for this. So I'm currently called it the Sunday Club. I'm open to suggestions, what we call it. That's what it's currently called at the moment, but let me know your thoughts. It was lagging a bit better now. Thank you very much, Dylan, for confirming that. So, brilliant. Good evening, Foz. I think it's because I was watching it on my live stream, so I slowed my channel down. So, who plays alongside Rice and Bellingham? Now, I'm going to get this one up and running straight away because I've already pre-prepared something for this. So, let me take these talking points off. And let me load up this page. So this should transition for you guys now. And you should hopefully see on the left-hand side of the screen a list. So England midfield. So we've got Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham there, clearly displayed. And a list of names underneath who are the potential people to essentially partner Bellingham and Rice. I think Bellingham and Rice are the certs in central midfield. Who are those? Who's a third person? Who is that third central midfielder for England? We presume he's going to be playing with three central midfielders and not a back five. I mean, against Serbia for the opening game, I would want to see three in midfield. So we've got Conor Gallagher, and this list obviously isn't everybody. As some of you in chat may want to recommend some players that I've missed off on this, but these are the most likely to partner Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice. So we've got Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount, James Ward-Prowse, Kobe Mainoo, Jordan Henderson, Calvin Phillips, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Eze, Cole Palmer, James Maddison, Phil Foden, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rique Lewis, or Ross Barkley. Now, I know obviously some of these are defenders or play slightly in different positions, but essentially they could all play in central midfield. They could all play. my question is, who is that third central midfielder? So you look at Rice, he's our holding midfielder. So you're looking at this list that's up here now. Is it another defensive midfielder? Is it an attacking option we go for? I just want to put it out to the chat. Who is everyone's current favourite to partner Rice and Bellingham in that central midfield? Number 22 is really good. Is he a defender? Number 22, who do you mean, Marco? Welcome to the channel. Solomon, evening. Wouldn't mind TA in the midfield three for group games, but sceptical of it against big teams. Yeah, I mean, it would allow Bellingham to go forward and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, would Trent Alexander-Arnold be a defensive midfielder, or would it be an attacking option? Rice, Phillips, and Jude has always worked really well. It has, and obviously Phillips has now moved, which is what he needed to do, thank goodness, but he's not had a good start to life, has he, at all? He has not had a good start to life with West Ham. I feel like having Palmer, Maddison or Foden would be too unbalanced. Yeah, well, this is the problem. So Jude Bellingham is the attacking option. I mean, I want him going forward. I don't want Jude Bellingham sat at the back. I think he's far better going forward. That means, are we looking at another defensive midfielder or another attacking midfielder? Now, the problem you've got, if it's another attacking midfielder, it's a bit of Gerrard and Lampard situation again, isn't it? You can't have two players doing the same thing. Or can you? I don't know. I feel like having Palmer, Maddison off it. Yeah, so I've just read that one out, Dylan. Yeah, absolutely agree. That's my point. Fozzie saying Foden. I think Foden, for a lot of people, definitely starts for England. But does he start out wide rather than through the middle? I'm not sure. I think he's better through the middle. But do you make way for him for another defensive midfielder to come in, for example, if then you've got Bellingham, Foden, Saka and Kane up front? Foden and Maddison for me, it will more than likely be Henderson though. Foden, because quite a lot of people are saying Foden. I was going to say in a second, nobody is mentioning Kobe Mainoo, but Dylan's come straight in with, I think Kobe Mainoo can do a job, but maybe too young. But if you're good enough, you know, you're old enough. It's as simple as that. No, Harry Kane's not going to retire, Marco. He's got a couple of years left. Hopefully he'll be at the next World Cup. So hopefully not. True, Henderson is fine, but not the best. Calvin Phillips, if fully fit and back up to speed, and Jordan Henderson. This is from Panther King. That's what will happen. I would give Conor Gallagher a go. I mean, Southgate likes Conor Gallagher. He picks him in all the squads. He doesn't always play him, but he picks it. He's been routinely picked, Conor Gallagher has. I wouldn't be surprised that if Conor Gallagher's going to the Euros at all. I mean, I think we're looking at another defensive midfielder, personally. It's just the way we play. Can you really have two players doing the same thing? A lot of England fans out there, or Club England fans, will be like, yeah, of course you can. It's just all out attack. But Trent is maybe a good option, isn't it? Because he could offer both. He could sit back or he could attack. He could be quite flexible in that role. Trent, Palmer, Gallagher, depends on situation. Yeah, absolutely. Longstaff, yeah. I mean, Longstaff is one of those where, does he come in central midfield? Is he better somewhere else? But no, he's obviously had a good weekend. If we just need a box-to-box midfielder. JT Smith, good to see you. Yep, Sunday Club is good in my opinion. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, so hit me with some name suggestions in the chat. In the England national soccer team, who is the best defender? Best defender? I'll leave that to chat. Probably Stones if he's fully fit. Oh, that's another one, actually. I didn't actually put John Stones into this. John Stones, of course, played for Man City in midfield for a large portion of their success, you know, Champions League final, and he was absolutely phenomenal. Does John Stones come into this? But then if we pull him out of defence, obviously then we're very weak at centre-back, aren't we? I want Trent in the middle. Trent did not have a good game today. Well, the issues with Trent is I don't know if he is experienced enough. A lot of people seem really troubled with Trent because we all know he's a world-class player, but where does he fit in? Where does Trent Alexander-Arnold fit into this England team? We know Klopp loves him. We know absolutely Klopp loves him. Southgate and Trent, let's say in England, have a bit of a love-hate, bittersweet relationship. Trent's famously pulled out of numerous squads in the past. There's all this Liverpool before England nonsense as well. But is he too good to leave out? I'm not sure he's too good to leave out, but a lot of people seem to be mentioning him here. Rice, I mean, well, yeah, obviously Rice and Bellingham. I think are we all agreed? Rice and Bellingham are the two starting centre mids, and then whoever comes in after. Right side of midfield, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Enrico Lewis, horrendous. Shouldn't even be in the squad personally. No, I sort of agree. I wouldn't want any of those in the squad. I think it's too early for them. Nothing more I can say. I absolutely agree with that. But I know there's people calling for them. What's everyone's thoughts on Ross Barkley? He's a very interesting one, isn't it? Because he's come out of nowhere, even though he's been around forever. His form's just come out of nowhere. He's playing very well for Luton, being their standout player. He wouldn't be my choice and he wouldn't get in my squad, but we know he has a lot of fans. He has a lot of fans, Ross Barkley. He wouldn't be my choice, though, at all. Who else have I got on this list? Kobe Mainoo, I think he's in with a shout. I really do. And Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's obviously got to be looked at. And I think Cole Palmer would be very unlucky not to go in to the Euros, personally. Bellingham left side, Rice holding, Bellingham left and Trent right, yeah. Southgate, MKH816. Southgate will choose Henderson. Let's hope some good influence from playing at Ajax. Translates over to England this summer. I don't know if you've seen, I put a tweet out today actually, Southgate, I don't know why, has been to watch Jordan Henderson play in Ajax this weekend. Why? Surely there is better use of his time than to go and watch a match with only one 33-year-old England central midfielder in that he knows all about. What a waste of a trip. Surely there's other matches. All these players here. Why isn't the Southgate going to look at any of these this weekend? It just seems really bizarre to me. Dylan Mount is washed. No way he gets in. Yeah, no one's mentioned Mason Mount, which is, I put him in this list. He seems to have gone over with everybody. He's the forgotten man, isn't he, at the minute? Completely forgotten man. Gone to Manchester United. We know he's had injury problems, but he's not in contention, is he? He shouldn't go to the Euros at all. Just having a sip. JT Smith. Rice needs to play deeper. We really need his help for the defence. Yeah, but I agree. But do we need more defensive approach in those group games, or can we be a little bit more adventurous? Marco Jimenez, are you a little nervous for the Euros 2024 for England, or do you think England is going to rise up to the challenge and play as England knows how to play? Marco, I am more confident than ever, and I say this before any tournament, I am more confident than ever it is coming home. It is 100% coming home. So that's all I'm saying on that. It's definitely coming home. Too early for Rico Lewis. Yeah, 100% agree. Barkley has always had loads of ability, just doesn't understand the game well at the highest level. I think more or less, when you look at Ross Barkley in particular, it's just his whole attitude. There's clearly a problem there. Otherwise, the talent's there. He's just clearly struggled. Similar to Dele Alli, it's a very similar story. I know there hasn't been stuff in the press regarding Ross Barkley, maybe as much as Ali, but mentally, is he strong enough? I'm not sure. He's finished. I wouldn't say he's finished. He's had a bad year. He's had a very bad year. The move to Manchester United so far hasn't worked out, but he's been injured. He's not had the rub of the green at all. And for a lot of people, he was very Marmite anyway. A lot of people arguably didn't even like Mount, so they're not exactly sad to see him go. Hey, what are the teams? Are you the most scared of at Euros? That's from CJ Putcher. No one. Absolutely nobody. I would fancy England to beat anybody at the Euros, and clip this, do whatever you want. There is no team that England need to fear. None. I'm not saying that other teams can't beat England, but there's no teams for us to fear at all. He loves Henderson as he does Mason Mount. It baffles you. They'll 100% be in the squad. I don't think Mason Mount will be in the squad, Fozzie. Henderson will be. I think it's shown today that he's just, for some reason, flown out to go and have a jolly with him this weekend when he had no need to. Henderson will be in the squad. I think the move to Ajax had a lot to play with that as well. I think maybe Southgate said, look, you need to go back to Europe, otherwise you're not getting in the squad. And I think now he's done that, I think he'll be there. But when you look at our midfield options out, look at this. The ones I've got up here, the problem you've got is that whoever you're bringing in, there's not a lot of experience. So you can start to think you sort of understand Henderson coming back in, because we are, in terms of experience at this level, through the spine of the team. Even Jude Bellingham isn't experienced. Let's be honest, he had the World Cup, but he's still a very young player. So you can sort of understand maybe why Henderson and Southgate seem to be clicky. France or Portugal, JT Smith, Italy. I don't fear France. I don't fear Portugal. I certainly don't fear Italy after beating them twice comfortably in the group stage. Obviously, France or Portugal could beat England. I'm not saying they can't, but we could equally beat them as well. You think that England can beat Germany and Italy, and those are the biggest names? Yeah, England are far better than Germany and Italy. That's a hill I'm willing to die on right now. England are better than both of those two teams. No Iceland to beat. Is this the time? Well, yeah, we've beat Iceland since then. Of course, there are a few good teams, though. I think Italy will come good. Germany will improve us. Germany, obviously, everyone's going on about how poor Germany have been, but they've not had to be any good. They haven't had competitive games. They haven't had to qualify for their own tournament. How much do you take these friendly games? And they're playing at home in a tournament. They're going to be good. Germany are going to be good. JT Smith, I think Italy will come good. Germany will improve. Yeah, England are favourites. We have nothing to fear. Only a bad red. I'm assuming that means ref. And we had a bad ref, didn't we, against France? Hot take, Germany gets grouped. Well, yeah, I mean, there's always that chance, isn't there? That's the beauty of football. But I think Germany are going to do very well. I think we are third favourites. Who's ahead of us then, JT Smith? Who would you put ahead of England at the minute? How many times have England won the Euros? Well, never. We all know that. I don't know if you're asking because that's a genuine question, Marco, or you're trolling, but never. We have never won it. The only thing England need to fear is their handbrake of Southgate. Well, interestingly, I don't know if you've all seen my latest video of the 5 reasons as to why I think England will win it. Please check it out. It's a very good video. One of those points is answered in that. So Panther King, if you haven't seen that video, you can get my thoughts on Gareth Southgate within that. England are favourites. England got a great team. Yeah, I think we all agree England have got a great team. So who are we going for? Who have we decided on? Chat. I mean, from what I saw, it seemed Trent seemed to be the name that was coming up the most. CM17, I think defence is key, as the teams that win tournaments are usually the ones with the best defence. We have nothing to fear in our attack. I mean, defence is still strong. I know people are going on about Maguire, but Pickford's been around now. He knows everything. He's got the experience. We've got amazing fullbacks. The centre-backs, if they're fully fit, they're experienced. Our defence isn't as bad as what we think it is. It's not world-beating by any means, but it's not as bad as what people make out. No matter what we say, I think it's guaranteed that Phillips or Hendo start. Right, okay, so whatever we say may be different. We all think Southgate's probably going to start Phillips or Henderson, regardless of what we say. But who do we want? Who do we want? Personally, who would I go for? I would go for Phillips, personally. He doesn't let England down. I know he's a bit shaky at the minute, but I think once he gets some few 90 minutes under his belt, bring that experience back in. He's just a solid pair of boots in the middle of the park, and it'll just allow Bellingham then to go off and do what he wants to do. Well, this is my first time watching the Euros, so I don't know how many times each... Oh, so it wasn't a tro. So, yeah, England have never won it, Marco. Absolutely disgraceful statistic. Obviously, we got to the final the last time out against Italy, which we lost. This is the year, though, so this will hopefully be the last time I'm saying this. Great show. Thank you, JT. CJ Pacheco, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. On paper, rank Portugal, France and England. I think France and England. Portugal maybe, but the group wasn't that tough. They haven't really played anybody. England have never won the Euros. Yeah, we all know that. So let me get the trackers back up. Let me get the... let me take this off, go back to there, and let me get these talking points off, because I think then we're pretty happy with what we're saying here in regards to Bellingham and Rice. We all think Phillips and Henderson are going to play there. And I think if you ask a million different people, you're going to probably get a different third person. That's probably why it's so difficult for Southgate to pick. Really difficult. Fozzie, good question though, Gaz. Rice and Bellingham are 100% certain to start. Rice is the midfield anchor. I'd go with Flair and couldn't decide between Foden and Maddison. I do agree with Panther King. Yeah. I mean, Maddison, he's good, isn't he? He's good, and he's not really had a look in for England. He probably won't at the Euros, but I definitely want to see Foden start in that starting 11, whether that's midfield or on the wings, wherever. Foden has to start. Okay, thought you were You as foreign England fans aren't usually that positive. Badio, Spain. Yeah, Spain. I still think England would beat Spain. Spain could obviously easily beat England, but I still put us as favourites against Spain. Lost on pens. Who cares about winning? I don't care. Do you know which country has the most wins in the Euros? It probably is Germany off the top of my head. UK have games. I love Italy. Don't care about it. Bellingham must be in and around the box a lot. Otherwise, we may struggle. Yeah, Bellingham, we all know. I mean, look what he's doing at Madrid. If he is not in those attacking positions, we might as well just give up. What are we doing with him? We're not making best use of him. Who cares? Honestly, means nothing. Been watching England for years. We got a great chance at the Euros. We definitely have. Foden left alongside Kane and Saka. For me, Saka and Kane are two other certain starters for England. And then, yeah, it's a bit of an open box. But I think like Fozzie, I want Foden in either central midfield or out. He needs to be in the team. He needs to be in the starting team. England, Germany. I think we'll beat them. Don't worry, everyone. Everyone calm down. We'll beat Germany. Right, the second point, and I know we covered this a little bit on the last stream, the Nations League draw on the 8th of February. It's 4 days. 4 days. I was going to say next week. It is next week, but it's 4 days from now. I can find very little information about this. I know it's taking place in France. I'm sure I cannot find a time or a place of where this is happening. It's in Paris, sorry, but... that's all I know. That's all I know. The teams that will be drawn, I have done a video on this, so I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but let's not forget, we are in League B now. We can't win it, but we have ranking points to play for. How England perform in the Nations League will have an impact, I believe, on our World Cup qualification campaign, because we may be first seed or second seeds. Obviously, for the World Cup, as we all know, you have to finish top of your group. So we need to do well in these Nations Leagues just for our seedings, for the draws. Ross Holt, you have to start Foden. Yes, completely agree. Hot take, San Marino beats England, Portugal and France. It was a very hot take. Play Rice, Bellingham and Foden in the centre of the midfield. It's as simple as that, yeah. It sounds as simple as that, doesn't it? If England beat France, do you think the narratives of people, pundits, will be that they just beat a France side that wasn't good anymore? Yeah, honestly, I think whatever Southgate does, it'll be, wasn't it? I mean, same when we beat Germany, same when we beat Italy, it's not the same Germany team as well, not the same. End of the day, you can only beat who's in front of you. England were better. I am adamant. England, another day, playing that same game against France, would have won that game. It was just those small margins. Team is Pickford, Walker, Maguire, Stone, Shaw, Rice, Bellingham. Yeah, so that's a very good team. King, I wouldn't massively disagree with any of that, if I'm honest with you. JT Smith, Foden was utterly useless in the France game, not his fault. I knew he's brilliant. Southgate should have took him off. After about an hour, I would start Rashford. But Rashford had a very odd tournament. Remember, he was terrible against Wales in that first half and then came out and scored an absolute screamer. Yeah, Portugal are a threat. The Nations League, though, I'm not going to linger on it because I want to get on to some of these games that England might be playing in Newcastle, up the Toon. Yeah, I'm not a Newcastle fan, by the way. But yeah, look out for the draw. 4 days' time. If it's in the afternoon, I'll do a live stream reaction for it. If it's not, though, I'm at work, so I can't. But I think the video I dropped, there was some slight things there that I needed to point out. England can't draw teams that are very geographically separated. So I think if we draw Iceland, it means we can't draw certain teams later on. I just want us to avoid teams like Ukraine and things like that in League B. So let's see where that's going to take us. But the Nations League draw is in 4 days' time, and they will all commence immediately after the Euros. And remember, this may be the new manager. England's new manager, this may be their first game. So just worth bearing in mind. But let's get on to this third point. I don't know if anybody or how many of you were aware of this in the chat, but all the rumours are saying on June the 3rd, England will be playing a home friendly against Bosnia at Newcastle at St James's Park. So I think that's great news. It hasn't been announced officially by the FA, but some Bosnian fan channel. All the news coming out of Bosnia is that it's been agreed and sorted, but for some reason the FA haven't released it. There is also talk about a potential other friendly at Wembley this time, though. And at the minute, I think, from what I understand, it's Iceland, potentially. But this may obviously change depending on if we draw them in Nations League. So who knows? There is going to be 2 other friendlies essentially to be announced outside of the Brazil and Belgium game that are going to take place in March. Obviously, I don't know if any of you have got tickets. Brazil and Belgium are in March. I think they're pretty much... Brazil definitely sold out. Belgium went on sale this past week. I don't know if it's sold out now, but it's pretty close, or it will be. But they're available. And then there will be 2 other friendlies before the Euros, very early before the Euros. I cannot wait to go to Newcastle. It'll be the first time in almost 20 years England have played there, and I think it's a great place. I love the fact that we're going abroad. Up north. It's not abroad. But for some Southerners, I bet it feels like abroad. Let me get back to the chat very quickly. Panther King, Nations League is a distraction, good for second-string players. Well, I also put a poll out, didn't I, on my channel, on my community page, about do people believe the Nations League is a friendly tournament or a tournament worth winning, essentially. So is it just, glorified friendlies or a good tournament? And most people put glorified friendlies. I think that would change, though, if England were going to win it. I think England should do everything they can to win the Nations League, and I think it's a very important tournament. But I think it's a good tournament to start with for the new manager, if there's going to be one. You're so confident that England's going to win. When you bet money, is that how confident you are? I'm not a big better, Marco, at all. But I am confident England are going to win it. Absolutely. We can at least draw with San Marino. Don't be too confident. Ross Holt, Rashford, not a chance. No, I wouldn't put Rashford in. Portugal have a great starting 11, but have 0 depth. Rashford is blowing hot and cold at the moment, and he always has done. He's done that throughout his career, if we're looking back. In my opinion, Portugal have the best starting 11, but their depth is weak, yep. So a lot of people coming, it seems to be saying Portugal. I want to face Argentina at Wembley. There was talk about England actually facing Argentina at Wembley, but it didn't materialise by the looks of it. And it possibly would have been when we were playing Argentina or Belgium, but obviously it ended up one of those 2 teams instead. But the rumours were that there were talks for that to take place. It just didn't happen. Believe it or not, I don't think Messi, for example, has ever played against England. Oh, I think my OBS, my live stream disconnected. Then we're back. Right. Much for friendly games outside of Wembley. Yeah, I mean I do. It's nice to travel. It is nice to travel. The atmosphere tends to be, usually quite a bit better as well. Nations League draw 5 p.m. UK time. Thank you, Russell. Thank you. 6 p.m. Europe. So they have started to release some information finally. Yeah, Fozzie, you'll have to come with me, mate. If it's in Newcastle, you'll have to come up. I think I'm going to go for the Sunday. It's on Monday night, but I think I'm going to go up Sunday, make a few days of it. Shouldn't England have played away too for a tougher test? All home. England always play at home. Don't ask me why. I think England's always play at home. I think a lot of it is to do with paying off Wembley, or it's too much of a cash cow for them. But yeah, we don't often play away games, friendly games anyway. My answer to the first question would be Alexander-Arnold or Loftus-Cheek. Play Foden in front of the 3. Yeah, I would like USA maybe. I mean, yeah, US would be quite a good challenge actually, because they're one of those teams that are, would be a good challenge. And obviously they're not at the Euros, but it seems to be the thing now where we will play teams from Europe. If the best preparation for the Euros is to play European teams, I would say that. Who would you say? So do you prefer in the Euros final, Portugal or France? Look, if we get to the final, I don't care if we've got the dog and duck. I am not bothered who we play, and I would take anybody, absolutely anybody. I mean, other people may have preference from this, from a spectacle perspective, and the fact that Germany at home and the history between England and Germany, I would like Germany. An England-Germany final, I think most English would absolutely love that. But I don't know if it can happen. I need to have a look at the draw. England, Albania, Norway and Greece. Yeah, I think that draw would be possible for England. I'm not sure on the travel restrictions, but I would take that. Haaland's Norway in the Nations League would be very, very good, wouldn't it? Why don't you think Tomori is good enough for the Euro squad? I'm assuming that says Tomori. There's a really annoying part. Yes, Tomori. I just don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't see enough of him, and when I have seen him, I'm not saying he's poor. I just don't think he's that good. I just don't think he's a world beater. I don't think he changes England significantly for the better. Lifting a trophy on Germany would be oh so sweet. Yeah, he would. Again, I've just disconnected again, and now I'm back on. So there may have been a slight delay. I'm not sure what's going off. We're not going to keep you guys too much longer because there seems to be a very slow internet connection tonight. In terms of this Nations League, then, what is going off with my OBS tonight? Apologies, everybody, if there's some connection issues here. Portugal and England have got banned. You know what? How many people actually say any national teams have good managers? Really? I mean, I think most people seem to think that all international managers are bad. Well, Portugal's, you could argue, Martinez, he absolutely blew the golden generation, didn't he, for Belgium? Tomori isn't good enough. No, I agree. CG wrong and wrong. So there's some disagreements here. Right. I think this evening, thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to cut it short tonight. I've really enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think of this Sunday Club, this weekly live stream. My internet is really annoying me at the moment, and I can see it's coming in and out. Let me know your thoughts. I'm really enjoying this. I think it's working really, really well. And I may look at doing some more. Yeah, I mean, Nozza, just tell me, what's the connection like? From my end, it looks like it's coming in and out, which is why I'm probably going to cut this short. Belgium would #1 first time ever. I think judging Tomori at left back is unfair given that he was played out of position. One of his standout games this season was Newcastle away. I wouldn't start him, but he was good backup. Yeah, I'm not saying he shouldn't get in the squad. I mean, in fact, I have in the past said he shouldn't get in the squad, but I wouldn't be against him getting in the squad at all. Yeah, and so thank you, Nozza, for confirming. I'm really sorry, guys, about the connection. I'm not sure why it's so poor. Let me see if I can close some things down and see if that helps. Let me get these. Tomori isn't good enough for England at centre-back either. I mean, who is? I mean, Pence keeps coming up, so let's have a chat then. As this has risen up, it seems like my internet connection's holding out at the minute. Who's our centre-backs? Stones. I mean, is Stones in there? He's not fit at the moment. Maguire's starting to get game time now for England, for Man United, sorry. Lewis Dunk, I mean, does he come in? England, Finland, Republic of Ireland and Georgia, the dream draw. Could Eric Dyer? Yeah, you know what? I've not even put Eric Dyer in the list that I put up earlier. Does he come back into the England squad? I'm not so sure. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, he used to trust him. Gareth Southgate used to trust Eric Dyer a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did come back in. I mean, Eric Dyer always has a very fond piece in my heart for scoring the winning penalty for England, obviously against Colombia. So he's a bit of a national treasure, Eric Dyer, regardless what people think of him. Right, guys, I am going to end it there because I think my connection is possibly a little bit too poor this evening. Now, Eric Dyer isn't good enough either. Not a bad defensive mid, but he doesn't play there now. Stones, Maguire is nailed on, surely. Yeah, well, if they're fit. If they're not, I mean, we're weak depth-wise at the back. There's no getting away from that. There's absolutely no getting away. I don't know. The defence, the centre-back, it's the centre-back options that are the worry, which is why the two holding midfielders are arguably more important. But if Stones and Maguire are fit in there, I don't mind that. They are a good centre-back pairing. They are so experienced at this level. And most other teams would be lucky to have them. And I think they do get probably quite a bit too much stick. It has to be said. UK have games I'll play. Well, you may get a game. You never know. So, yes, let me know what you guys are thinking about this stream. My internet seems to be working okay now. So does anybody want to put anything else out there? Mark Gay is one of them that got injured. Yeah, I mean, Mark Gay seemed to be coming good, didn't he? And he's a good player, very good player. So he could come in. Just again, it's that lack of experience. We've already got with Stones and Maguire, so I'm not worried. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they are established, aren't they? They are established centre-back pairing. I wouldn't be worried about either of those two at all. Play Ramsdale and Grealish as centre-backs against Brazil. I mean, is Brazil... This is another thing, because a lot of people were saying, while I've got my internet connection, is Brazil... I believe my internet connection is just gone again. Right, I'm calling it. I'm calling it early, guys. Really sorry. Hopefully next week we'll be able... Oh, I don't know. Are you still... Yep. Anyway, guys, I don't know if it's working or not. So thank you all so much, and I will see you all